So this clip's been doing the rounds.
I was wondering if you two were coming to the Green Pine Grove Town Square Christmas Eve Festival of Lights Christmas Tree Decorating Contest Finalist Gala tonight?
Wow. So I had to find out what movie it was from, and it turns out it's this one, 2022's Love at the Christmas Contest. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
So you're probably under the impression that these hallmark-type made-for-TV Christmas movies are easy to watch and uplifting.
Yes.
Not the case here, sadly. This is one of the most depressing films I've ever seen.
Oh.
The characters are constantly talking about people who've died.
Really?
Yes, but more on that later. This is Angie Waldron, and she's the main character.
Hi.
She runs this nursery.
You know my mom loved every tree that came through here.
Okay, so that's the first mention of Angie's dead mum. Angie asks her colleague and best friend Blair what's come in the mail today.
The official schedule for the Green Pine Grove Town Square
Christmas Eve Festival of Lights.
Excuse me?
I really need a catchier name for that.
This festival involves a tree decorating contest and a lighting ceremony. While this all sounds like fun, it turns out this has brought back memories of Angie's mum.
We love the tree lighting.
So that's twice already she's mentioned her dead mum in the first 10 minutes. Anyway, they see this girl outside, so it's time to sell her a Christmas tree. The girl, Gabby, turns out to be the daughter of Angie's high school friend David Mitchell, who she's not seen since graduation. David's like, where's your mum?
She actually passed away last Christmas.
So that's 3.
Gabby here lost her mom 2 years ago.
Yep, so may as well start the count now. That's 3 mentions for dead Mrs. Waldron and 1 for dead Mrs. Mitchell. Anyway, she sells them a tree and Angie asks David how long he's in town for. Sadly, he's only there for Christmas. They go back to Florida in January. When he leaves, Blair's like, come on, Angie, you need to get on that. And Angie's like, no way, he's leaving after Christmas. But obviously she's keen. While they're in town, David and Gabby are staying with David's sister Lily. Angie lives with her dad, who makes famous landmarks out of gingerbread.
Okay.
Angie's like, Dad, why have you moved this decoration?
Mom likes...
It turns out Mrs. Waldron always wanted a Waldron's nursery tree to win the Green Pine Grove Town Square Christmas Eve Festival of Lights Christmas tree decorating contest, but she just couldn't find the time.
Find the time. I'm sorry.
So the next day, Angie tells Blair that she's entered them into the Green Pine Grove Town Square Christmas Eve Festival of Lights Christmas tree decorating contest. Blair's like, I don't want to be in that.
You know how I told you I wanted to find a way to honor my mom this Christmas?
Well, she can't say no now, can she?
No.
And that's 5 for Mrs. Waldron. So here we are at the contest. And oh, look, David and Gabby have entered too. There are 3 rounds in this contest.
First round, freestyle.
They get to choose their own theme, so Angie and Blair have gone with Flight of the Bumble Tree. 5 teams will go into the semi-finals, where contestants will be given a theme 48 hours in advance. From there, 3 teams will move on to the final, and the theme for the final is the same every year.
The meaning of Christmas.
The winning team gets their tree lit up in the town square on Christmas Eve.
Wow, that's big.
So the teams are Angie and Blair, David and Gabby, and the other 3 teams are made up of non-speaking extras. Tanya and Colin, who I assumed at this point were a couple. This family, who are cheating, because it's teams of 2, so they should be disqualified immediately.
You're absolutely right.
And this woman who's always stood behind the judge with a less attractive friend who's mostly off camera. Obviously, all these teams get through to the next round because we don't see any other teams. Even the cheats get through.
What? It's totally inappropriate.
When Angie gets home, her dad comes to speak to her.
Angie, your mother.
6 mentions for Angie's mum. Back at David's sister's house.
You're quiet tonight.
I'm just thinking.
About what?
Mom.
And dead Mrs. Mitchell immediately pulls one back. I'm in no way exaggerating this, by the way. It's non-stop. The next day, David goes to see Angie to see if she can order some flowers for him.
Sunflowers. They're for Gabby. So your mother loved sunflowers.
Oh, right. Anyway, Angie's like, yeah, they're out of season, so that's going to be tough. And ooh, they get a message about the competition. The theme for the next round is Angels and Evergreens. 48 hours later, and here we are at the semi-final. But hang on, David and Gabby aren't there. It turns out that David has a flat tire, so Angie goes to pick them up, even though it could damage her own chances of winning the contest.
Angie, Blair, tell me about your tree.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yep. So Angie has put photos of all the people in town who do nice things for others, because they're the real angels.
And My mom.
Point Waldron. So obviously Angie and Blair get through to the final, as did David and Gabby. The final team to get through is Tanya and Colin. I thought they were a couple at first, but now I'm starting to suspect that Tanya is Colin's carer. Gabby's really grateful to Angie for bringing them to the contest, so she invites Angie to dinner this evening, even though they're guests at David's sister's house. Angie's agreed to bring dessert, so her dad gives her this, the gingerbread bridge he made. Imagine showing up to someone's house with that.
Lily, shouldn't you be getting to work?
Excuse me?
Yeah, get out of your house. Lily's a nurse, so she won't be back anytime soon. Gabby then starts showing Angie around.
Oh, is this your mom?
That's 7-4.
You know, it was just about a year ago when I lost my mom.
And Angie stretches the lead back to 4. This film is so depressing. Not only do these conversations take place every 5 minutes, but each one goes on and on and on. Now that's finally over, it's time for dinner, where Gabby tells Angie how she's never built a snowman before, so they build a snowman and take a photo with it. Yeah. When that's finished, David sends Gabby to bed.
Last couple of years have been tough on her.
8-5. When they get into the kitchen, Angie asks David where all the Christmas decorations are.
Truth is, Gabrielle was always the decorator in our house.
For f***'s sake. So David gets the decorations out, but Angie's like, David, you're doing it wrong. David's like, whoa, calm down.
I'm just trying to do Christmas the way my mom did. I don't want to forget.
Yeah, pretty sure we're not going to be allowed to forget. Anyway, they're about to kiss, but Lily comes back.
Did you get off work early?
No.
Must have been a taxing 3-hour shift at the hospital, so Angie leaves. The next day, David gets a call from work offering him a promotion, which means he has to be back in Florida the day after Christmas.
Oh, no!
Later, David comes into the nursery, and this is where he invites them to the
Green Pine Grove Town Square Christmas Eve Festival of Lights Christmas Tree Decorating Contest Finalist Gala tonight.
It's too late for Gabby, so Blair says, sorry, I can't come, you two will have to go on your own. So that night, David goes round to her house to pick her up. Angie's dad answers the door.
Angie told me you lost your wife. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry to hear about Mrs. Waldron.
And here comes Angie. That song doesn't actually play, but it feels like it should. At the Green Pine Grove Town Square Christmas Eve Festival of Lights Christmas Tree Decorating Contest Finalist Gala, the song comes on from their high school prom, and they dance. David doesn't want to ruin his chance to shag Angie, so he doesn't tell her he's going home early. When he takes her back to her house, there's some mistletoe, and here's his chance. But oh no, her dad has come in to ruin it. At work the next day, Angie has finally managed to track down some sunflowers, but they're in North Dakota, and they can't deliver them before Christmas. Gabby's going to be so disappointed.
Good.
Over at Lily's house, Lily asks David if he's told Gabby that they'll be going home early yet. And he's like, no, I want to tell Angie first. But when he gets to the nursery, Angie gives him a tree and their hands touch, so he doesn't tell her. When he gets home, he tells Lily that he's decided not to take the promotion and to stay in town for a while. But Lily's fallen asleep while he's been talking and hasn't heard a word. So later when Angie comes round, Lily tells her about David's promotion. So Angie leaves in a mood. He goes out to try and speak to her, but she's like, no, David, it's fine. I know about your promotion. He keeps trying to tell her that he's turned it down, but she won't let him speak. When he does manage to get a word in, he thinks if she's going to be like that, I may as well leave. So decides he may as well accept the promotion after all. Later, they're both really upset and look at the photos they took with Gabby and the snowman on their phones. At an unspecified time later, we're at the final of the contest. It's Angie and Blair versus Gabby and David. Oh yeah, and Colin and his carer are there too. I wonder what inspired Angie's tree.
Well, my favorite memories of Christmas are of my mom.
What a shock. And here's another shock. Angie wins. So her tree is going to be lit tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Sadly, David and Gabby won't be there because they have to fly back to Florida for Christmas for David to start his new job the next day. Gabby goes over to congratulate Angie.
I know if your mom were here right now, she would be so proud of your decorating.
When David tells Gabby they're missing the tree lighting later, she kicks off and he's like, okay, we can stay for the tree lighting, but we have to leave straight after. Over at Angie, she seems miserable, so her dad asks her what's wrong.
I knew this Christmas was going to be tough.
Then we get over 3 minutes of them talking about their dead wife/mum. The next day at work, we find out that Blair has managed to get hold of 6 dozen sunflowers. So now Angie has to tell David that she loves him. But of course, that would be too easy. So she's focusing on her speech at the tree lighting ceremony.
I lost my mom last year.
That's 13-8. And oh, look, she's redecorated the tree with sunflowers. So Gabby's really happy.
I am so proud of you. And I know your mother is too.
Anyway, then she tells David she loves him and he says he loves her too, yeah. The whole family celebrates together. Hang on, what's the organiser of the contest doing there? May as well get Colin involved.
I don't think so.
Anyway, Mrs. Waldron has beaten Mrs. Mitchell by 14 mentions to 8. And that's the end of this depressing film. So until next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. And please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.